Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how to make no bullshit stir fry. This here is ginger and sesame seeds in a wok. I'm just heating it, and to this I'm going to add some peanut oil. I'm just going to saute these in the peanut oil just to start until they get nice and crispy, the sesame seeds and the oil gets nice and hot. To get the peanut oil, you don't need to buy separate peanut oil. Instead, just get whole natural peanut butter, no bullshit hydrogenated oil or anything like that. Added just the regular peanut butter, and the oil will actually separate on the top. And I've taken that from the peanut butter, then I poured a little bit of the oil into this thing here, and I poured it in there. So you can get it right from the peanut butter itself, because it's just the peanut oil that's separated, and that's really good thing to do there. So as this is sauteing here, I'll just basically explain kind of what else goes into this dish. So there's chicken. I'm going to add the chicken in a little bit and give it a good sear. And then there's a bunch of vegetables. These are frozen vegetables. You can get them in the freezer section in most grocery stores. Frozen stir-fried vegetables, they're much cheaper, and they're also easier, and they're quicker, and they make it, you know, just as good in my opinion, and it's fast. And you know, they also say that they have more nutrients when they're flash frozen, but I have no way of verifying whether or not that's a bunch of horseshit. Anyway, this is the soy sauce we're going to use too, and then there's some sambal ginger garlic sauce we'll use. I have some garlic powder I'm going to add at one point also. And so now this is sauteing nicely, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to add in the chicken. And we're going to let the chicken saute for a little bit. And just want to give it a few minutes. No, not a few minutes, maybe like 1 minute, just to brown, and I'll come back then. So it's been, you know, 60 seconds. Chicken's starting to have just a bit of a sear. You don't need to fully cook it. It'll cook with everything else when we add the vegetables. So I'm going to add the vegetables now. Like so. Get all those in there. Okay, so now we just have one nice wok with chicken, vegetables, and the ginger. And I'm gonna just let this cook for a little bit more, maybe like another minute, 2 minutes, and I'll come back then. So it's been about a minute, give or take, maybe 2 minutes max. Just been, you know, stirring it a bit, and it's starting to heat up in here. So to help this process, we add the soy sauce now. Add a, you know, relatively generous amount. You don't have to be too stingy with it. I usually like to get the low sodium kind if you're worried about sodium. And this just helps season it and start it, you know, getting it cooking more. So I'll come back in a couple minutes. So it's been maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes, give or take. So now you can see like our water that was from our vegetables when they were kind of still thawing out from frozen is coming out of boiling. So to not have it too watery, we need to thicken it. Instead of adding cornstarch, which a lot of stir-fry recipes call for, I'm gonna add two things. The first is just the garlic powder. Add a generous amount of that, and that helps flavor it. If you're too lazy to use the chopped ginger, the fresh ginger, you can also use ginger powder, which you could add at this time or earlier. And then the next thing I'm going to add is a bunch of peanut butter, whole fresh peanut butter, and whole fresh peanut butter will just pour right out of the jar. You won't have to scoop it. And add a fair amount of that, maybe 2-3 tablespoons of that. looks like fun. Okay. And so what you're going to do now is you're just going to stir that in, and then you'll see it'll get a thicker consistency to it. And my fingers are in front of the camera. This is really a bullshit video, but it's to show you how to cook. And my fiance is laughing in the background there, but that's okay. So now look how this is getting nice and thick. And this will be kind of like a peanut curry. So you're gonna cook this a little bit longer, give or take, another, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. By this stage, the wok is so hot that it's basically nearly done. The wok, the whole time through should be, high heat, really high heat, really hot, and that's because you want the heat evenly distributed across the wok as much as possible, and just for everything to cook as evenly as possible. It might look when you first start like it won't possibly cook down, but it will, cook down as you can see. Now it's starting to cook down. So we'll give this another 2 minutes or so, give or take, and then there's just one last finishing step that I'll show you. Okay, so it's been about 3 minutes. I've been now stirring this constantly as it's been sort of frying / kind of simmering in the peanut sauce simmer that we've created. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead now, it's done, right? I'm gonna cut the heat off, okay, and then just to finish it, 2 things. First, I'm gonna add the chili garlic sauce, the sambal alek, and I'm gonna mix a generous amount of that in, gives it a nice spice and brings out more of the garlicky flavor and the ginger to that. Okay, nice red color as well. And then next I'm gonna finish it with a bunch of cilantro, like a massive amount. Okay, so I'm gonna pour that in there, right? And the heat is already in the pan, and that'll just wilt down this cilantro very quickly if I just stir it in, and it'll give the perfect flavor, because cilantro is really a weak herb, it's a soft herb, so you always want to finish with the cilantro at the end to maintain the flavor in there. So now this is done and ready to serve. No bullshit stir fry. The whole thing took me maybe 20 minutes, if that. And then here is some quinoa that you can serve it with. It's really good with quinoa here because it has a nice nutty flavor, and I always make the quinoa in the rice cooker because it's fast. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed.